My name's Stacy Levin, and I'm the conference producer. Thank you all for coming out to this event. We're very excited about the turnout. I really encourage you to attend all and any networking activities we have. Ask as many questions and meet as many new people as you possibly can during these next 2 days.
That was going to be a little longer song, but we are running late, so we're going to dive in, and we're going to go ahead and start the first session, and which I think will set the stage for the entire event. In your bags, you should have a copy of the Green Book Research Industry Trends Study. Ties right into this event. So instead of me standing here and talking to you about the results, read the report, that's all there. What we are going to do is have a panel, and we're going to talk about the implications, and we're going to try and establish the context for all this new technology, because we don't innovate for the sake of innovation. We all like cool new toys, and that's fantastic, and we want to create these cool things and touch them and see what they do. But the bottom line is, do they help us deliver insights for our clients more effectively? That is the deal. And in an industry that, at least in my opinion, is under increasing amount of pressure from outside forces, from CRM, from business intelligence, from other players that are approaching into the traditional research space, it's more important now than ever that we look at how do we embrace these new technologies, how do we get on top of these new trends, and how do we use those to grow the value proposition in market research in the client space. So that's what we're going to talk about in a minute. And let me change this. Now, see, you guys all see the hashtag for Twitter. So if you're on Twitter and you want to follow the comments, follow the hashtag TDMR. Also, if you don't know, there is wireless available within the room. And let me pull this up. So market research is an industry in transition. Now there's a lot going on. And is there anybody here who doesn't think that market research is in transition? I didn't think so. Is there anybody here who doesn't think that new tools and new technologies are redefining the entire way that we think about what market research is? I didn't think so. So you're all here because you get it. You understand that there's a lot going on within our space. And I assume that you're here because you understand how you can use those tools more effectively. The major findings of the research industry trends were interesting. The first one was that there's major structural and systemic changes impacting us. And we're going to talk about those. The next was an interesting finding. The top 50 market research firms perceived to be innovative. I want to be really clear here. When we asked that question, we thought, oh, this would be a cool question to ask. And what we realized was that we weren't really getting the companies that are innovative. And that's not to say that they're not. I'm not saying that at all. But these are the companies who are doing a really good job of positioning themselves as being innovative. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Really, really interesting that if anybody who's read the report, one of the things we found was this ongoing pessimism with research professionals, a feeling that they're undervalued, that not feeling good about the future for research. But yet, from a financial standpoint, the industry seems to be rebounding. And then the most interesting, the gaps between suppliers and buyers, tenure in the industry, age of the respondents, and geography about their willingness to look at new technologies. Which tells me that we may have a human capital crisis that's brewing within the market research space. And then no big surprise, what are the technologies everybody's buzzing about? Social media, mobile, MROCs, text analytics. Those are the newer techniques that people are dying to get a hold of. And certainly you're going to hear about a lot of that and those technologies over the course of the next 2 days. But most important was, despite all the tools, despite all the cool new toys that we have, it still comes down to personal relationships with clients. So we don't want to lose sight of that. We're here at a tech conference. We're here talking about new and innovative technologies. But it still comes down to that one-to-one relationship. And to me, I find that really good news for the industry. There's a lot of people who are afraid, oh goodness, social media monitoring and all these things are going to replace me. They're going to take away my job. That's not going to happen. A human still has to look at implications and outcomes and make recommendations. It's time for us to step up and function as strategists. It's time for us to embrace that. Use these tools to make ourselves more effective in our jobs. They're not going to replace us. They're just new ways to get data in ways that we had never thought about getting data in the past. But it's still up to us to make it work. So this is my little graphic of how I think things are playing out within the industry. These are the drivers of change. We have new competitors. Marketing agencies, business intelligence technology, do-it-yourself, social media. Is anybody watching and paying attention to the movements from Omnicom and WP, and as they're buying up various and sundry new technology providers? The Omnicom acquisition of CommuniSpace I thought was very telling. Even last week, a very interesting acquisition of Yahoo, purchasing a new mobile app called Into Now, which if you were following these things, you might have seen that about 2 weeks ago, PepsiCo was using Into Now for social TV and wanted to utilize them for media measurement. So there's lots of new things coming. There's lots of companies that are taking away pieces of the market research pie. Client demands. This isn't necessarily new. This is what we always hear. Show me the ROI. Let's talk about integration. Let's use all this data and how do we incorporate it into our internal social media systems and our CRM systems and get all the research data. Let's talk about implications and outcomes, not just delivering facts. Consumers, and this may be the most profound change that we're dealing with now. The social media evolution, and I do think it is an evolution. Anybody who has kids, teenagers, who are engaged in social media and see how quickly they process information may agree with me that this is an evolutionary shift. My kids can be carrying on 10 conversations at once, utilizing 10 different platforms. I mean, I do good just to kind of tweet text at once. So, consumers demand more engagement. They want socialization. They want it to be fun. They want rewards. And when we look at the marketing space, they're hearing that. And they're building solutions that engage consumers in ways that research could never even think about. That is an issue we're going to have to deal with.